Hello viewers, welcome to my channel PC Geo Kimberlite, a source of diamond. Today we are going to see an important topic from stratigraphy, that is a biostratigraphy and its units. I am Dr. Sajjan Udekar, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Geology, AKI's Pune College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Camp Pune, Maharashtra, affiliated to Savitribai Phule University, that is SPPU, and formerly it is known as University of Pune. Stratigraphy, that is the biostratigraphy and units. Now, whatever earlier topics are there, the stratigraphy, its introduction, importance, its elements, and its different classification has been, the video has been uploaded on my PC Geo Kimberlite. Similar one, lithostratigraphy and its units has also been uploaded. Those students who have joined today, they can go on this video and they can see there will be a list of videos are there on the title. The file title name is Stratigraphy. Similar one, paleontology, micropaleontology, then structural geology, then mineralogy, igneous petrology, and FIPSC all practicals for the SPPU as per the new syllabus has been already uploaded now. Those the viewers have just joined, go to this channel and just find out your choice of topics which you want to study. In addition to this one, on my channel, I have been already uploaded the videos on various scholarships, right from first standard to 10th standard. Then there is another category 11 to 12 standard. Then there is the next category is there for the graduation, BA, BSc, BCom, BBA, BCA, BCS. Then there will be engineering, that is another branch. Then the diploma and ITI, that is one branch. Then the medical is another branch. So these are the branches I have been already made, but I could not get the B.Ed scholarship. Might be in future whenever I get this one, I can upload that particular scholarship. So the category wise, the files has been maintained on my channel. Those who are interested for the scholarship also, they can go and visit the channel and see of your choice what are your been criteria is there, whether your income is less than 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, or less than 8 lakhs, and whatever the course you're doing, you can go for that course and apply for that particular scholarship. Yes, today we're going to have an important topic from the stratigraphy, that is a biostratigraphy and its unit. The characterization and correlation of rock. Yes, that is a very important. How you're going to characterize whether it is igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic, and correlation of rock means the rock which have been exposed at a different places. Say example, in India, if I take a sample from Bombay and if I take a sample from Calcutta, similar one sample I get it from the what we have in Kerala, that is the what we have Kochi. So at three different places I taken a rock. So first I have to study the characterization of that rock, and once I know what is the nature of the rock, whether it is igneous or sedimentary, then I'll try to find out whether it contain any fossil. That is a very important one, because the whatever today biostratigraphy is there, that will be correlated with the important one, fossil content. When we are going to make the comparison on the basis of the fossil we are going to have. But in Pune, we don't get any fossil because whatever we have is the basalt is there. So I taken a just example to show you that the different places in India, similarly different continents also. You can take the sedimentary rock where we have the fossils are there, and we try to make their correlation of these rocks on the basis of the fossil content. Then that branch will be called as biostratigraphy, and that might be 100% the MCQ will be asked on this particular topic. Yes, so here this will be a MCQ exam is there. So in that MCQs, 100% 1 mark will be there on that particular MCQs. Define biostratigraphy, or it will be what will be its related fossil content, yes, correlation and characterization of with the basis on the basis of the fossil content. That is the branch we will call as the biostratigraphy. It is based on the principle that organism has undergone successive changes through the geological ages time, right from the Cambrian to the whatever we have the recent is there. So example, we have the Langley branch. So that lamellary branch has been started from the Cambrian till today it is present. So that fossil has gone a lot of changes. So we have to go under successive changes throughout the geological time scale. Thus any unit of the strata can be dated and characterized by its fossil content. So that we are going to make out in that biostratigraphy. Rapid evaluation, yes, that is a very important one. In this, what we are going to do it, a rapid evaluation, short range, the whatever the fossil is there, it has a short range is there, varied morphology, yes, as per the whatever the environmental condition is there, in that it has been changed as a morphology also. Then he has to adopt that to the different environment, how it has been gone through the various environment in the past geological history. So rapid evaluation, short range, varied morphology, adaptation to the different environment. That is a very important. If we want to sustain in a one particular temperature, say example, in a Pune, we hardly have around the temperature is go maximum 40 degree and minimum is go to 5 degree. Yeah, so that is the range. But if in case in future, if the temperature of Pune has gone to minus 30 degree, then we have to adopt to that environment. If we could not adopt to that environment, then we could not survive. That will be extinct. Similarly, the many plants are there, animals are there. If adverse condition is taken place, abrupt change, then if they could not sustain, they will die. Definitely, they were going to make the mass extinction. So that has to be done. So adaptation to the different environment. So basic fundamental unit of the biostratigraphy is a biozone. Remember, the fundamental unit of the biozone is the biostratigraphy is the biozone, which can be defined as the body of a rock defined by the presence or absence or relative abundance of certain spaces. That is very important because everywhere we could not get the same spaces. So the spaces will be varied. So that will be the very important one. Now in the introduction, we'll see the complexity of the biostratigraphy result from the aspect of biology of the organism, including their environmental range, their evolutionary rates, as well as their tendency for the preservation and probability of observation by the biostratigrapher. So that is a very complexity is there for that particular biostratigraphy results will be there. These sets of fossil taxa, faunas, presumably represent the diversity, things living at the time the sediments were laid down. So whatever the sediments are deposited, and at that time, whatever the environment is there, on that environment, whatever the fauna or flora which are living, they will be having that particular environment adaptability is there. That the occurrence of many fossils can dependent of the lithology of the rock. That occurs many fossils that independent of the lithology of the rock. It was the work of an English surveyor. That is a very, yes, in the MCQ it will be asked a question. It was a work of an English surveyor and civil engineer named William Smith. Remember the name, it is a very important one. William Smith. That we know now we know that the rocks formed during any particular interval of geological timescale can be recognized and distinguished by the fossil content from the rock formed during other time interval. This concept is consequently become known as the principle of faunal succession. So the William Smith has given the very important principle of stratigraphy, that is a principle of faunal succession. Remember, this may ask in the MCQs. Next one, very important one. Again, this will be asked in the your MCQs. Similarly, those who have been preparing for the GATE exams or the various examination for the MPC admissions or GATE exams. So for them, this will be a very important one. Index fossil. What are the index fossil? Index fossil are the fossils used to define and identify geological periods of faunal stages. They work on the premise that although different sediment may look different depending upon the condition under which they lay down, they may include the remains of the same species of the fossils. Suitable fossil indices should be geographically widespread. What is the importance of the index fossil? They are the widespread, common, stratigraphically restricted, morphologically distinct enough to enable ambiguous recognition. So these are the important. If these are you're going to get it, then that will be called as the index fossil. Come to the next one, nature of biostratigraphic units. Biostratigraphic units, that is a biozone. That is the important what we have, the unit we are going to make out. That is the unit we called as biozones. Are the bodies of strata that are defined or characterized on the basis of their contained fossil. Yes, here whatever the biostratigraphy is there, it is linked with the fossils. If you don't link with that, then it is not a biostratigraphy. It is only the lithostratigraphy, where only we have only the rock will be going to make out. There also we are not going to concern with the time. Biostratigraphic unit exists only where the particular diagnostic feature or attribute on which they are based on has been identified. Biostratigraphic units therefore are the objective units based on the identification of fossil taxa. So here the important one in the biostratigraphic unit is there. Here to whatever the units are there, they are based on the identification of fossil taxa. Their recognition depend upon identification of either their defining or characterizing attributes. Biostratigraphic units may be enlarged to include more of the stratigraphic record, both vertically as well as geographically. Yes, vertically as well as horizontally, they are the widespread of that biostratigraphy we are there. So that fossil is not only found, say example Lamlibrand in that Arca, it is not only found in India, it might be going to found in Antarctica, it might be going to found in Australia. So any part will be there. So that is the whatever we are going to get this stratigraphic record vertically as well as geographically, they are widespread and in additional data are obtained. A biostratigraphy unit may be based on a single taxon or a combination of taxa or a relative abundances on specified morphological features or on variation in any of the many other features related to the content and distribution of the fossil in the strata. The same interval of the strata may be zoned differently depending upon the diagnostic criteria or the fossil group chosen. Yes, so as you come vertically, there will be changes may going to happen into the rocks, and as the change will be there, we are going to get the different horizon we are going to make out. Thus, there may be a several kind of biostratigraphic units. That's why the changes we are going to say vertically you are going to find out. So there will be a several kinds of biostratigraphic units in the same interval of strata that may have gaps between them or overlap of their vertical as well as horizontal ranges. We'll see some of the importance of the fossils, because here we are going to link with the only the fossils where we are going to study the biostratigraphy. So we'll see what are the values of the fossils. Fossils were once living organism. Yes, they are the past living organisms are there. As such are sensitive indicators of past environment. Whichever the environment they are living, they will be adapted to that environment. So once they are dead and get a fossilized, so that fossil will give you that particular environment, past environment, sedimentation pattern, their distribution. So not only we are going to get only the environmental condition from the fossil, we are going to see the sedimentation pattern, how these particular fossils are there and what will be the sedimentary pattern is there and what is their distribution. Geographically also, we are going to see that how this particular fossil has been spread all over the world. In addition, because of the irreversibility of the evolution, fossils are particularly useful in working out the relative time of origin of sedimentary strata. Yes, so here we are going to have the relative time of the origin of sedimentary strata. So we know that whatever the fossils are there, we have been already made the dating with the fossil, and once you find a one particular fossil in a one particular rock, immediately will date that particular rock. So we come to know what will be the ages of that particular rock will be there. Fossil assemblages. What are the fossil assemblages? Four kinds of interval are found in sedimentary rock. Strata without fossil. Yes, that might be happened. Sedimentary rock without any fossils are there. Strata containing organisms that lived and were buried in the area, bioconosis, and strata containing organisms that lived somewhere else. That is very important. Strata containing organism which has not live in this particular environment, somewhere it has been live and it has been come and it will be deposited here. That made the condition has happened. So we have to find out and were brought into the area after the death. So that particular organism, somewhere it has been living. Once it is dead, it has brought to that particular position. Then that is called as thanatosonosis. And the strata that contain the organism transported alive away from their normal environment, because now it is not the normal environment where the animal is living. The normal environment is somewhere at other place, but it has been deposited. That also the place that may happen on the various places. These may be mixed or interbedded in any proportion. All categories of fossil bearing strata may be the basis for biostratigraphic zonations. Now, what is the rework fossils? Yes, that is the terms we are going to see continuously. We are going to make out in that biostratigraphy. Fossils from the rocks of one age that has been eroded and transported and redeposited in the sediment of younger rock. Yes, younger age. So what is happening? The older rock is there. Say example, a fossil has been deposited in 1990 and it has been eroded. Now it has been after the erosion and it has been deposited where in 2000. So 10 years there will be gap is there. So the fossil from the rock of one age that can be eroded, transported and redeposited in sediment of a younger age, because of the difference in their significance with the respect to the age and environment, they should be treated the part of those believed to be indigenous. So that will be the rework fossils. The next one, introduced or infiltrated fossils. What are the infiltrated fossils? The fossil introduced into the older or younger rock by fluids through animal burrows or root cavities or by sedimentary dikes or dipiers. They should be distinguished from indigenous fossil in biostatic zonation. So they are the infilter, means due to the burrowing animals by the root cavities that has been formed or sedimentary dikes or dipiers which have come out. So from that older one they come into the younger, from younger it may go to the older one, that may be happen. So that is the infiltrated fossils. Effects of stratigraphic condensation. Extremely low rates of sedimentation may result in the fossils of different ages and different environment being mingled and or very immediately associated in a very thin stratigraphic interval even in a single bed. Is biostratigraphic classification. How you're going to make out the biostratigraphic classification? The systematic subdivision. How you're going to make the systematic subdivisions? And the organism of stratigraphic section into named into units based on their fossil content. So all whatever we have made the subdivisions, we have been only made on the basis of the fossil content. Biozones. Yes, see what is the biozone? A general term for any kind of biostratigraphic unit. We just called it a biozone, regardless of thickness or geographic extent. Not only vertical thickness, horizontally we have to, geographically also we have to see the extent. Biozones vary greatly in thickness, geographic extent and represented time span. So that will be called as the biozone. So it is a very important one in the examination. It may ask you biozone. Next one, biohorizon. A stratigraphic boundary, surface or interface across which there is a significant change in biostratigraphic characters. So here there will be a boundary is there or surface is there where there is a significant change in the biostratigraphic characters. Means in the fossils as well as in the rock there will be change in the characters. Biohorizons has no thickness and should not be used to describe very thin stratigraphic unit that are specially distinctive. So that will be only for a broad divisions we are going to make out. Subzones, a subdivision of a biozone. Superzone, a grouping of two or more biozones with related biostatic attributes. Then it is called as superzone. So biozone, superzone and subzones. Next definition we'll see, zonule. The use of this term is discouraged it has been received different meaning, is now generally used as a subdivision of biozone or sub-biozones. Barren interval. Stratigraphic interval with no fossil. Barren, yes, the barren land is there in what we have the in a stratigraphy. We are going to see the Indian stratigraphy later on. So barren horizon is there. So that will be the point. Barren interval. That is, there is no fossil content in the stratigraphic section. So whatever sedimentary rocks are there, they are the completely avoid of the fossils. So now there is the kinds of biostratigraphic units. That is the divisions which have been done of that particular biozones: range, interval, assemblage, abundance, and a linkage. Range, interval, assemblage, abundance, and lineage. Yes, again we have been given again the same one I given: assemblage, range zone or overlap zone, acme, that is abundance zone, interval zone, overlap zone, or lineage zone. So these are the fossils which have been given, how they have been, range has given, lower as well as upper range has been given. That will see the total range biozone, consecutive range biozone, partial biozone, assemblage biozone, acme biozone. One by one we will see them in detail. Now the first what we have, the range zone. The first unit of the biostratigraphy will be the range zone. There are the three types of range biozones: taxon range biozone, concurrent range biozone, partial range biozone. First we'll see a taxon range biozone is a body of a rock representing the known stratigraphic and geographic range of a chosen taxon. So here we are going to chosen one particular taxa where the rock representing known stratigraphic and geographic range has been given. That we called as a taxon. Then the range biozone. Range biozone, the body of a strata representing the known stratigraphic and geographic range of occurrence of particular taxon or combination of two taxon of any rank. So here the body of strata representing known stratigraphic and geographic range of occurrence of a particular taxon or combination of two taxon of any rank. That is the taxon range biozone or concurrent range biozone. A concurrent range biozone is a body of a rock including the concurrent, coincident, or overlapping part of the ranges of two specified taxa. Yes, what is a concurrent? A range biozone is a body of a rock including the concurrent, coincident, or overlapping part of the range of two specified taxa. Then the next one, partial range biozone, is a body of a rock located between the last appearance of a taxon and the first appearance of another taxon. That is the partial range. So it is the body of a rock that been between the last appearance of taxon and the first appearance of another taxon. A group of strata recognized by observing particular range of zone fossil, since each species show restricted stratigraphic range. In this regard, one has to take into account the first appearance, that is FA, and the last appearance, that is called as LA. That is the short form which has been is first appearance and last appearance. And the zonal concept is supplemented by datum label, that is FAD and LAD. That is first appearance datum and the last appearance datum. Remember, these are the short terms which will be used in that biostratigraphy. So you have to be remember, those who have been preparing for the competitive examination, they are the very important one. Range zone are essentially useful in areas where stratigraphical sequence is poorly understood, and as they can be identified by the presence of index taxon or taxa in isolated assemblages. It is in isolated assemblages. Taxon range zone, the body of strata representing the known range of stratigraphic and geographic occurrence of a specimen of a particular taxon. Then it is called as the taxon range zone. Now what is the boundaries in this? The boundaries of a taxon range in any one section are the horizon of lowest stratigraphic occurrence and highest stratigraphic occurrence of the specified taxon in that section. Means lower as well as upper section has to be there in that boundary. So that is the what we have, the boundaries of taxon range zone. In that name, the taxon range zone is named from taxon whose range is expressed like local range of a taxon. It may be specified in some local section, area or region as long as the context is clear. So in stratigraphy, we are going to use most of the time local name has been given for the taxon. So remember that will be the local range of taxon has been there. So this is what we have, the taxon range A, B, C, D, what we have been mentioned. This is the taxon range zone. The lower, upper and the lateral limits of the zone has been determined by the range of occurrence of taxon. Now I can see the time surface. Yes, this is what we have, the time surface, which are shown by the red lines. The boundaries of taxon range, it has been given by the green one. Yes, this particular shape, Y shape one, uppermost documented occurrence of the taxon in the specific section, that is upper one. And this is what we have. Y on the lower side, it is the lowermost documented occurrence of the taxon in that particular. So this is what we have, the zone, which is the stratigraphic zone has been given on that particular taxon range zone. Next one, concurrent range zone. The body of a strata including overlapping parts of a range zone of a two specified taxon. So here concurrent means there will be a range of zone of two specified taxon. Now how you're going to make out the boundaries in this? The boundaries of concurrent range zone are defined in any particular stratigraphic section by lowest stratigraphic occurrence of the higher ranging of the two defining taxa and the higher stratigraphic occurrence of the lower ranging of two taxons. So higher and the lower range of the two taxon has been taken into the consideration for the concurrent range zone. The body of a strata including overlapping parts of the zone or two that we have seen. Concurrent range zone is name of both taxon that defines the characters of biozone by their occurrence. Yes, here we have this one. Yes, this is what we have. The time surface is there by red lines, and this is the boundary of concurrent, which has been shown by the green one. And now I can see the uppermost documented. Yes, these are the uppermost which have been shown, and these are the lowermost. So this will be the boundary, and A and B which are there, they are the taxa. So these are the two taxa. So here we concurrent range, the lower, upper and lateral limits of the zones are being determined by the range of concurrent occurrence of taxa A and B. Interval zone. This zone is also called as a gap zone. Yes, remember now, interval zone is also called as a gap zone. Might be in a MCQ, it will be asked. That is not recognized by the range of any particular element within the interval, but also its position related to the underlying and overlying. So interval, whenever we are going to make out, so in that we are going to have the uppermost and lowermost zones are there. There are three subtypes of interval zones, that is the range zone, concurrent range zone and linear zone. An interval biozone is a body of a rock between two specified biostratigraphic biohorizon surfaces. There are the two types of interval biozone, that is the boundaries based on the upper appearance and the boundaries based on the last appearance, where the full succession of strata is an better documented and however greater biostratigraphic position is normally possible using the interval zone. These are described purely by upper and lower boundaries which are placed in stratigraphic sequence and at defined level called biohorizons. Interval zone definition, the body of a fossiliferous strata between the two specific biohorizon. Such a zone is not in itself necessary the range zone or a taxon or a concurrence of taxa. It is defined or identified only on the basis of bounding horizons. Yes, you can see now this is what we have, the time surfaces which are shown by the red lines. These are the boundaries of the what we have the interval zone. Then we have the upper limits. This is the upper limit one. This is the second one, and this is the this one upper limit as well as lower limit. This is given. Both sides it is upper lower is given, and these are the lower ones. So A, B, C we have been taken, and A, B are the taxas. So that is the what we have the biostratigraphic section when we are going to make out in the interval. In surface stratigraphic work, where the section is penetrated from top to bottom and paleontological identification is generally made from the drilling cutting, often contaminated by recirculation of previously drilled sediment and material sludge from the walls of the drill hole. That may happen. Interval zone is defined as a stratigraphic section comprised between highest known occurrence, that is first occurrence downward, of the two specified taxa particularly useful. Yes, that is the uppers we have been given here. This is the time surface, and this is what we have, the boundary of the interval zone. And this is the upper one which has been mentioned here, and this is the A and B are the taxas. The boundaries of an interval zone are defined by the occurrence of the Biohorizon selected for its deletion. The names given to the interval zone may be derived from its name boundary horizon and name of the basal boundary preceding that of upper boundary. Globogerinoids, Sicanus, Orbulina, Sturulalis interval zone. So these are the what we are going to make out that particular zone. Definition: the body of a strata containing specimen representing a specific segment of an evolutionary lineage. The boundaries of lineage zone are determined by biohorizon representing the lowest occurrence of the successive element of the evolutionary lineage under consideration. A lineage zone is named for the taxon in the lineage whose range is partial range it represents. Yes, here we have given the two diagrams now. Time surface, which is shown by the red line, and this is what we have, the boundary of the lineage is there, and here we are going to make out that particular point A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. They are the taxa which have been mentioned. That is for the stratigraphic section, A and B which have been mentioned. Assemblage zone. It is a group of strata marked by a distinctive natural assemblage. Assemblage zone is a group of strata marked by a distinctive natural assemblage of all forms of regardless of their range, such as assemblage is a product of environmental condition. Yes, remember it is a product of the environmental condition. This is a zone recognized on the basis of particular fossil assemblage. An assemblage biozone is a body of a rock characterized by unique association of three or more taxa. The association which distinguishes it's in biostratigraphic character adjacent to the taxa. The body of the strata characterized by assemblages of three or more taxa that taken together and distinguished in biostatic characters from the adjacent strata. An assemblage biozone may be based on a single taxonomic group, for example trilobite, or on that one group such as acritarch or chitinozones. The boundaries of an assemblage zone are drawn at biohorizon, making the limits of occurrence of the specified assemblages, that is characteristic of the unit. The name of the assemblage zone is derived from the name of the one of the prominent and diagnostic constituents of fossil assemblages, who is dominating in that particular one, that will be recognized. So here we are giving you the two horizons A and B. Here this is a time surface as given by the red line. Boundary has been already given by the green one. Uppermost will be this by V, and downward lowermost document has been given. And A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, they are the taxas. So they have been given. So if you have to go to study the detailed one assemblage zone, you have to make out those who are going for the research work for them. It is useful. Next one is acme or abundance zone. This zone or a group of strata is recognized by identifying the bloom or a particular genus or assemblages or a species independent of association of a range. An abundance biozone is a body of a rock in which the abundance of particular taxon or specified group of taxa is significantly greater than the adjacent part of the assemblages. The boundaries of an interval maximal abundance are not essentially established and cannot be recognized only through a quantitative survey of the fossil assemblages. Abundance zone may be limited. Abundance means that will be a huge one, but abundance may be a limited local utility because abundances of the taxa in the geological record are largely controlled by paleoecologically, taxonomy, and diagnosis. These are the three important things which will be act once the animal is dead, deposited, then the paleoecology, taxonomy, and diagenesis. They are the going to act, and we can after that we are going to get fossil one. Abundance is a relative, subjective idea which implies great number, frequency, and richness. Acme is the maximal increase in abundance of taxon and independently of its stratigraphic distribution. Abundance zone. The body of a strata in which the abundance of a particular taxon on a specific group or taxa is significantly greater than is useful in the adjacent part of the section. The boundaries of an abundance zone are defined by the biohorizons across which there is a notable change in the abundance of the specific taxon and taxa that characterize the zone. The abundance of zone takes place its name from its taxon or taxa whose significantly greater abundance it represents. Okay, so here we are given here the time surface. These are the red lines. Then the green line which is there, that will be give you the boundary of abundance, and A will be the taxa which has given. So this is the abundance of the taxa. This is A, B, C. That is the section we have been making out. Overlap. It is recognized by overlapping ranges of specific fossils. So that is the overlapping zones are there. Lineage of zone or phylozones, that is also been in that lineage zone we have been made out in that earlier also we have seen. It depends upon the evolutionary trend in particular fossil organism in some lineage. Morphological changes appear to be have occurred continuously with respect to SAZ and SDZ, that is the successive appearance zone. Is SAZ, what is that? Might be in MCQ it is asked. Successive appearance zone, and SDZ is successive disappearance zone. And most of the biostratigraphic zonations are based on FA and LA, first appearance and the last appearance of the fossil group, and employ combination of concurrent range of zones SAZ and SDZ. Studies of FA in a fossil, that is first appearance of fossils, stands to make valuable contribution to our understanding and deep time significant or homophysis values of within the individual symmetry or symmetry for a sample are normally distributed with mean of 0. Then the sample exhibit ideal fluctuating symmetry, that is FA, degree of FA symmetry is known. Zone SAZ, yes, is the oldest fossil tetrapod or biohorizons of Stromberg group, that is the Caro supergroup, and preserve the oldest dinosaur bearing the deposit of Caro basin. SAZ represent a revision of Euskalosaurus range zone whose taxonomic basis has been undetermined because of Euskalosaurus will be demonstrated to be a nomen dubidum recent, and aim of biostratigraphy to determine the relative age of strata to determine any break in the sedimentation or formities to correlate the strata to strain to interpret environments of deposition and failure. Thanks. Have a nice day.